Thank
Hi,
you.
thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, so much news for you right now. Like, you've done video games before, and I mean, they're not small games, Apex Legend, Elder Scrolls. But like Silent Hill is like it's really experiencing like a resurgence as of late. Like, what was it like when you got the news and
Yeah.
realized you get to be part of like this amazing world?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it has been so wild to see because we recorded this maybe a year and a half ago. So, we've been waiting for a while and I yeah, it was kind of crazy that I booked this role and I think I when I first found out like what it was, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be in a Silent Hill game. This is insane. This is crazy. I can't believe I booked it." This character just felt so far apart from, myself. And I was really excited, and I was like, "Okay, I wonder like what kind of content is out there for like this specific game." I've seen some Silent Hill games before, but then I saw like the teaser where it was, you know. The one where she was like in a boat and then all the flowers are coming out and it's all mysterious. There's not a lot of lore behind it and everything. I was like, this looks insane. This looks so cool. Um, but I think that, that was kind of all that there was around it. So it was very mysterious still. Nobody really knew what was happening. So I was like, this seems like really cool and different, but not a ton of people are talking about it yet. So this will be interesting, what kind of reception it's going to get when it comes out. And then I feel like in this last year, Konami's done such a great job. Like they've been setting up the booths at conventions and stuff that it grabs your attention. You can't help but like look at like what is that? Because it's so pretty and terrifying. The monsters, especially, that they put up on display. And I just feel like the more and more we get closer to it, just more stuff comes out about people getting really, really excited. So it's really kind of surpassed our expectations, I feel like, of how anticipated it is by people, how excited people are just to play another Silent Hill game. And I'm so excited and I can't help but feel a little overwhelmed sometimes of just being like, this is one of the most anticipated games of the year. This is such a cool thing to be part of. Yeah.
And all as part of that, like your directorial debut, your short film Commedia, like is debuting, and like
Yeah.
how is it like not only being in front of the camera but being
Mhm.
behind the camera when you're so often in your work just behind the mic?
hmm I have been loving it. Honestly, it feels very fulfilling that like the Commedia, which just got into its first LA Film Festival with LA Femme, which is very cool, and it's a very women-driven film festival, which is very exciting. Uh, it feels very, like I said, fulfilling and validating that like I'm kind of doing the work that I love and people are recognizing that and I get to be part of more projects that are right in the vein of stuff that I love. I mean, the Commedia that I directed was it kind of like a thriller comedy inspired by Pagliacci. So like it's very clowns and scariness, but also a little funny. So getting to do something like that, that's just like a thing that I felt that I wanted to do and put out there of like this is stuff that I'd like to work on. This is inspired by a lot of different genres that I like, and it's weird and twisted. That's just where my mind is, and then getting to be part of other projects that recognize that, I guess. And I get to be, you know, get to be, I feel like Silent Hill app itself too is pretty female driven as well and very twisted and scary and beautiful. So I was like, this just feels so right that all of this stuff is happening. And yeah, I mean, I think the, like my exploration into directing has made me a better actor too, of just being like, okay, fitting myself into the story and into the role, not only just like, okay, how can I make this character the most interesting, but it's like, how can I serve the bigger picture and story the best that I can.
And I mean, you are in VelociPastor too. Which like the original Brendan Steers movie, like it
Yes.
also has like a really strong woman character in Carol,
Yeah.
like who kicks ass throughout that movie.
Yeah.
Um, how'd you come to be a part of this? Were you familiar with the original at all?
I had seen the meme on Memesar. I think that was like the perfect movie doesn't exist. Wait a second. Yeah, a priest turns into a VelociPastor, Velociraptor, and I was just like, that is ridiculous. That's amazing. But I got the audition through my manager, and I was like, am I reading this right? VelociPastor too. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh my God, it's this. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know, and it was I loved the idea of it, and so it was one of those auditions where I was like, I don't know, they seem pretty wild, like full send, let's just do something really weird in my audition. And they were looking for a Polish accent, like Polish speakers. So I was like, all right, time to break out my best impression of my dad, because my dad is Polish and he has an accent. So I was like, I've been working my whole life for this, but it's a very difficult accent to nail. But I was like, it's a comedy. It was all intentional. If anything is terrible. So it was such a fun project, and I'm really excited. I mean, they have been working on it for a long time. It's such a beautiful, result of indie filmmaking where they are so resourceful and so creative and so open to collaborating on ideas and just ways to elevate it from every single aspect. So that was such a wonderful experience getting to work with that team. And then to see all the work that they're doing behind the scenes with the miniatures, with all the special effects, and then also, the fight choreography that they had somebody else do, like, any dangerous. I didn't have to do any dangerous stuff. I was like, oh, that's great. But all of the stunts that I have seen, all of the choreography that seen was really amazing. They got a great stunt team on that. So I'm really excited for that project and for them to like really I think we're getting closer and closer to showing the world all the work that we did on that. And again, it's like a thriller comedy, also horror, which I'm like, this just it feels like a lot of the genre is calling to me in different ways. So.
Are you a genre fan?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm like and not so much in the horror. The horror stuff really scares me, honestly. I don't know. There's something better about acting in it that than experiencing it. I'm a pretty anxious person, I feel like, with like a very vivid. I think, most actors have very vivid imagination. So when you get like you're on the receiving end of it, of just like everybody's intention on the film was to make you feel uneasy. They do a very good job of it. So it's always been a hard time for me to really get into horror, but I do love, the thriller. I love action. I've always really liked kind of darker sci-fi stuff. So I've always been a big fan of that. But acting in it, I feel like is really freeing because it's just, especially in this more action-packed stuff, it's very visceral and you get to push yourself to be as vulnerable as possible and like exercise your own kind of demons. So I think that it on the actor end it's a lot of fun, whereas on the viewer end it's very anxiety inducing, Nobody's yelling cut, nobody's telling you you're safe afterwards. Yeah.
It's a very accurate assessment, actually. So we're moving into the last quarter of 2025. You're having a really great end to the year. Like, what other projects do you have in the works that you can talk about?
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of NCA stuff, there's been really cool projects that I've gone to kind of start working on, but they won't see the light of day until a while from now. I am working, on some of my own directing stuff. I'm working on a comedy web series right now, just something to be putting out in the world and do more directing and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm hoping to get off the ground this year. Obviously, Silent Hill F is coming out in a week, and I think. all of the anticipation coming up to Silent Hill app has been amazing, but I'm sure that as everybody's going through the the game and replaying there's going to be a lot more, discussion and a lot more sharing of it, I guess, after it comes out. So I'm really excited to kind of see everybody's reactions of stuff coming out. Um, and yeah, I think that in terms of yeah, this year, um, which it's mostly going to be like reveling in the stuff that has been coming out. I think that, again, VelociPastor is getting close to almost ready to be sharing more of that stuff. So we're hoping this year, but yeah, I think for them specifically, they've got the rights back, so now they're looking to sell some more merchandise and some more physical copies of the original for everybody to rewatch before before the second one comes out. Yeah.
Physical media, obviously.
Yes. Very
Um,
important.
very, very important. Well, Frankie, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me about all of these amazing things that you've got going on. I hope you have a
Thank
great
you so
rest of your
much.
day.
Thank you, you too. It was so
You're
lovely to
welcome.
talk to you.